So if I'm gonna share the wins with you, I gotta share the losses, right? Guys, I'm gonna do a series on rebuilding the business, rebuilding life. I've jumped on social media and I have shared the journey with you guys. I've shared my past, shared the successes of becoming an Army Ranger, some of the successes I even had in business. But what I haven't done is documented and taken you through some of the failures. So this is going to be the first video in a series of rebuilding. I am in a stage of rebuilding. And if you guys are new to the channel, I'm Jeremiah Sullivan. I was a former Army Ranger, and I was in the bottom 1% of the military, and I changed my whole life, got into the top 1%, and served in the 75th Ranger Regiment, went on to my next assignment, became a company commander, and then started coaching high achievers, entrepreneurs, working professionals. I did that while on active duty. And that was in 2019. In 2020, that was my first year full-time in business, and then COVID hit, and I had to navigate business, COVID, and I went all in on the business. In 2023, I left Colorado State and I took my whole life down here to Florida, and I went all in on the business once again. I basically took every penny of my every penny that I had, and I put it into growing and reinvesting the business. By 2024, not only was I overstretched and stressed, but things were starting to break and collapse. And by 2025, I went from, in 2020, I had a team that I had put together with different agencies and contractors of about 10 to 13. By 2025, my business was back down to just me. So it is just me and my business. And if you guys, a lot of you guys see social media and you see all these people making tons of money and you're like questioning yourself on your entrepreneurial path. And so what I wanted to do was come in here and share with you guys that it's not all highlight reels, that there is, a lot of ups and downs in this game. And so this is a video where I'm diving in on the rebuild. I'm rebuilding my business, I'm rebuilding my life. I am 38 years old, about to turn 39 next month. And as I close in on being 40, I'm thinking a lot about family, kids, what my responsibilities are as a man, my priorities as a leader, as a person, just my life priorities and my life responsibilities. What do I owe my wife? What do I owe my brothers? What do I owe my family? What do I owe my clients? What's the mission that I'm on? I'm really seeking intentionality as I move into this last chapter, or this next chapter of my life. Hopefully it's not the last chapter. But anyway, so I will be sharing a little bit with you guys today on the journey. We'll see how this goes. If you guys like the content, you guys let me know. I'm out here with Epic this morning. It is right around 5, I think it's like 5:30 a.m. at this point. I got up at 3 a.m. and people talk shit on morning routines online. They're like, just get to work. Man, I've been doing high stress stuff my entire life, between serving in the military as an infantry officer, to building a business, to training. I've built my business while training for an MMA fight. And talk about stress. That is stress, dude. That's a whole different level of stress. But whether it was going out on target on a military op, or building a business while competing in mixed martial arts cage fighting, a morning routine has helped me tremendously. Or even just navigating like marriage challenges, like having time in the morning is so important as a leader, man. And when it comes to rebuilding when it comes to rebuilding your guys' life, like this is one thing that I've consistently done over the years that I think has helped tremendously. Is just some days I go out and I do a hard run. Some days my body's so beat up from training that I just out here staying consistent with the cardio, and I got Epic. And so that's the main lesson, I guess, for today's video. And I'll post some more today. Maybe I'll get one other clip in here for you guys, or maybe two. But that's the key, I think, when it comes to rebuilding, is you need this time to get clear, to get intentional, connect with God, go inward, cut out distractions, and really just listen to yourself and figure out what's needed for that next best step. So hope you guys enjoy the content, and we're going to finish up this session. Conquer all. All right, guys. So in an effort to, I'm going to take you guys through some of the things that I'm doing personally to rebuild my business and my life so that you guys can have the benefit of picking up some tools and techniques that can help you rebuild your life. All right. I was like beating my head over this, is trying to figure out what can I show you guys that would be like, what should I put in this YouTube video that would be good, be entertaining? And I was like, you know what? Why don't you just take them through some of the things that you're actually doing? So there's three main things that I'm doing to rebuild my business and life. And I'm going to take you through those three things in this quick video here. So the first thing is my calendar and my vision. So if you want to change your life, there's the saying, you show me your calendar, I'll show you your future. So one of the things that I'm focused heavily on is making sure that every detail, see if I can show this to you guys, every detail of my calendar is filled out. All right. Now, from 3 a.m. until 8 p.m., I have this thing blocked off with very specific stuff. So right here in this block is social media. Earlier today, this is my building block for the business where I work on the landing page or my core offer. And so I have every detail. I just updated this on Sunday, and the calendar is a work in progress. This is more of a routine. Everything that I have filled out in here is a routine part. And the green is professional, the blue is personal. And the main thing is that I know if I work on the business, like the core problem in the business every single day, if I work on social media every single day, and down here I have down some personal stuff like my VA claim, which I have a bunch of issues with my VA stuff from getting out of the Army that I'm working on. I know if I would do these same things every single day that my future will improve. Okay. So that's the thing. That's like the number one thing that I'm doing is I got this calendar basically to match the future that I want to have. So I want the business to be improved. I'm putting that on the calendar. I want my social media to improve. I'm putting that on the calendar. So my goals are on the calendar essentially for how I want my life to transform. Number two, the second thing, which I don't share this too much, is that the calendar reflects this person that I'm building. So what I do is I pulled a bunch of inspirational pictures off of the internet. And you can see this is me cage fighting. So it's kind of a personal thing that I'm sharing with you guys. But basically, when I teach life transformation, if you figure out who you want to be, then you know what you need to do. So between my calendar, having my goals on it, and me having a clear picture of the man that I'm building, I know that I have a clear target that I've set. So I cropped my head over the top of a bunch of photos. Hey, man, it works for me. In the past, I just built up an image in my mind, but I like having a visual representation too. So I'm clear about who I want to be. I'm clear about the goals that I need to work towards. And then the third thing is my mentor taught me your life will be exactly the same a year from now, other than the people you surround yourself with and the books that you read. So in this period where I'm rebuilding, obviously my situation with the business and my life got to a spot where I'm the only person in the business, and I really don't have the network that I had and the team that I had years ago. So obviously I'm doing something wrong. So I've been diving deeper into books, and I'm doing an education sprint. So what that looks like is I'm reading multiple books. The first one, I just finished this book last week. This is My Inventions by Tesla. It's all about your imagination and how he created some of the his perspective on creating inventions, which, obviously, if you know anything about Tesla, that a pretty fascinating individual. And the biggest thing is that he believed the way his mind worked was a lot different than most of society. He believed in creating from imagination, and I believe in that too. I'm also reading this book right here, Go One More by Nick Bear. Really good timing. I picked up this book. It's on finding the clarity to make intentional life-changing choices. So for me, it's good timing in that right now I'm in a period of my life where everything's changing. So I'm finding, Nick is like an acquaintance friend of mine ish. Like we don't like talk all the time or anything, but he's a guy that I've had a couple of touch points with over the years. And I find him very, very inspirational. So I went through his book and I'm like really digesting it and trying to apply it to my life to make sure that I'm congruent with how I want to live my life, and I'm extracting stuff that he put in there. Two other books that I'm consuming right now is one by Cam Haines. His second book, I can't remember the title of it, where he interviews a bunch of outliers, people that are very exceptional, and he pulls out the common traits in them. And then the other one I'm reading is this book, The Hard Thing About Hard Things, and the author is Ben Horowitz. If you see me looking over here, I'm looking at some of the notes I put. This guy basically built a company and sold it to HP Hewlett Packard for 1.4 billion. And I'm reading his book because inside of that book, business and entrepreneurship is like there's no step-by-step plan for becoming successful. It's like having kids, like, or raising dogs, or there's so many variables that you can't, not there's never a one size fits all process to achieve success. So his book is about sharing the story that he went through to building a $1.4 billion company. And I'm going through it to learn the lessons that he's sharing to apply them to my personal life and to my business. So I know that if I change the information I'm consuming, then I'll change my output. Change your input, you'll change your output. So that's the second thing that I'm doing. Number one is I'm building the best me with my calendar and the vision for myself. Number two is I'm changing my books. And number three is I'm focused heavily on providing greater service. So that's why I'm doing these videos here. I know that if like I want to make a larger impact in the world, and if I want to prosper more financially, the key to that is to provide greater service. You got to help more people. And I don't believe in handouts. I believe that you get exactly what you deserve in life and nothing less. And so if you're going through a tight spot financially, which I am, um, then the issue is the service that you're providing. You got to provide greater service. So that's what I'm focused on. And those are the three things that I'm doing to rebuild my life, get back on track, and not back on track, but to, this is the things I'm doing to rebuild my life and build the life that I want, not a life that I could settle for. Because it would be very, very easy for me to settle and go back to just a 9 to 5, or going back to something that I don't want to do. The 9 to 5 is not bad. 9 to 5 is a great gig. You can really focus on your priorities in life by having a consistent income and contributing to a mission that matters if it's a good job. But for me personally, that's not my mission. My mission is to build something that lasts through time. And what I'm doing right now is I'm going through my losses, I'm going through the failures, and I'm trying to come out of this rebuilding period as somebody new. And I would say the biggest area that I think I made a mistake in the last like 5 years since getting out of the military is I just never really got to the core. Like I never solved the right problem. I was solving the symptom of the problem. Like in business, I thought it was marketing, and then I thought it was sales, and it wasn't. It was my core offer that I needed to work on. I needed to put more attention around the one single thing that I was going to help people with. I spent so much time helping people with all these different areas of their life that it spread me thin. And now I got to a spot where I can help people, but it's not clear about what I help people with. So I was spending more time on that. And on top of that, I I let some people into my life that were just not good people, and time reveals character, and those people um, fell by the wayside. And so what I've learned is that you need to be intentional about your relationships. That the people that you run into, um, really ask yourself if they live up to your values. If you're clear about your values, right out the gate whether or not that person's a good fit for you. So honesty and integrity and an abundance mindset, not a lack, scarcity, hater mentality, and dishonesty. I don't like that type of person. I want to be around good people, quality people, high integrity, people that are accepting of you, and you don't have to see eye to eye. You can make mistakes, that's fine. But I don't expect anybody to be perfect. But my point is that I didn't really vet people when I was getting into business. I kind of assumed as I got into I assumed that the people I was bumping into just give them the benefit of the doubt. And I think I'm going to be smarter about that moving forward, more intentional with my relationships. And that's what I'm doing moving forward. So, guys, I hope you like those 3 things that I'm doing to rebuild my business and life. And please let me know what I can do a better job on this content and take you guys along the journey. This is episode 1 of rebuilding. What did I put this down as? It's just a rebuild series. Rebuilding me. Episode 1 of rebuilding business and life. Hope you guys enjoy. Roll.